Welcome back, everyone. We're getting live and loud back into this Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Star Weekend.
This is like the first step to their journey, or maybe the next step. What an amazing opportunity, because like back when I was in high school, like esports wasn't a thing. Colleges just started to get going, and now recruiters are here looking for the best talent from high school.
Challenge. That's a ridiculous win to get his team back within striking distance. 65, trying to bounce it through. It'll get it. Little Garrett special.
They aim to slam it down. Oh, wait!
Oh!
Seconds, and last year's MVP comes through.
You know, the really cool process here is that for all of her high school upperclassmen, juniors, seniors, they were able to essentially self-nominate themselves. But then we had a full panel of judges to be able to decide, based on in-game and out-of-game qualities, who makes the ballpark of an all-star. And we ended up finishing with 40 total students across both Rocket League and Valorant, two of the biggest esports in the world.
Chance to learn from the best, and what better way to do it than maybe with a drop down from Wahvey as your captain. Wahvey coming off hot from that first series, gets it going again. Still a lot to be impressed by for Nitro Knights, but that's two demos, that's an open net, and that's the first goal as Wahvey finds the opening pick. You see a flurry of demos and then a Furia goal pop out just as it's fitting to see Jujui continue to strike hot while the iron is there. I mean, xSync plays it perfectly on the pass.
All the way. This is a process, y'all. I mean, it started mid-August when nominations opened. Of course, you want to bolster those nominations along the way, so that way when you get to the selection committee, who were announced on September 24th, once nominations closed on October 27th, they had some decisions to make. Who actually makes an all-star, right? Who's these juniors and seniors who really do show themselves in-game and out? At that point in time, we saw some awesome reactions when the All-Stars were announced on November 7th, which brings us to the Coca-Cola Real Magic moments here. We got to see a little bit of the reactions. Listen, some of the students, they had a lot to say, some of them a little bit, but either way, you can tell all of them were excited.
There's Wahvey. He is able to hit it into the corner, and Jailbird keeps it up. Jujui with a chance. No, he doesn't have the boost. Oh, he has to watch it fall. Just too little too late, and that's the series.
Just really good execution, team-wise, all the way around from Gold Diggers.
The way that Nash handles things has been dynamic shift. I mean, he's been a spectacle to watch. Chalky has been not only dynamic, but as you see, all-stars inside, outside the game, like you mentioned, Lemon, and again...
There in terms of the map pick, but also just feinting picks, feinting rolls for some of these players. Down, but tag is all the way down too. Same thing with blocks. Things are still very plausible here for Spike Surge. Still have the pull here from Leone. Leone does delay the one. Able to get to Leone.
You see it on your screen right now. It's the official sponsor of Coca-Cola All-Stars, the Golden Ticket Initiative. Bright Futures Golden Ticket Initiative is a partnership. Two exceptional All-Stars will be selected to receive a $1,000 endorsement for college tour within the Stay Plugged In network, along with $1,000 extra in scholarships from Brightspeed Fiber Internet.
Miracle, are you going to have it? Chick of the Lord is still holding on. What a snap! That's going to be Preacher to get the kill and stop the defusal. Halfway mark, but Bombstar needs a miracle in their own. Praying to on high. Are you going to get it? No! Preacher with the 3K secures the win for Crosshair Champs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Depends on how the best of three is going to go. They'll have the advantage of the ban and shift. I mean, to be able to get rid of your worst map is a big advantage.
It's going to be Comey doing Comey things, ladies and gentlemen. 1v2 in front of him. Inching up towards Return. Return has time to step off to Spike. Here, Mookie on top of Schweppes, but Martian Walk. Good stuff from Martian Walk. Just spraying in from main, just sweeping the site, making sure that the cracks are covered. But here comes Comey. Already has two more to go. Comey on fire. Unbelievable. There goes Cal. Finally a bit of a shot here for Cal, but they're still gonna have to deal with Blocks. Blocks has been so good on the Guardian. Still somehow able to get this kill. I'm going crazy over here. Psych able to pick up Chonky Bonk, but out goes Blocks. Old Rush. There goes an ultimate that might have been a little too last second. Oh no, they cannot. Lefty does get the kill, but now it's a 1v1 on Psych. Psych sprinting, pulls out the Vandal, able to get the ace.
Activate.
Welcome in, everybody. 40 All-Stars entered and only 20 remain now for Championship Sunday here on the Stay Plugged In Network. 2 teams in both Rocket League and Valorant will battle it out here today. Joining me as always, all weekend long, we've got Lemon Kiwi, we've got I Hold Shift to guide us through what should be an insane finals.
Championship Sunday, there's so much going on, so thank you everyone for tuning in because we are highlighting the best high school talent in the country. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, we had a really good look at just about all of our participants yesterday, and the fact that these 4 final teams, the one standing, feels like we're going to be in for an electric day because they were really tightly matched. They played yesterday, and I am really pumped for the rematch today.
Let's get right into it because we want to see this in action. Let's check out the schedule now and see that we kick off with Rocket League just like yesterday at noon Eastern. Of course, we'll see Gold Diggers versus Nitro Knights for that championship run, but Valorant 1:30 is the kickoff time there. Crosshair Champs versus Ult Rush, which we'll get to in just a second. And of course, Shift, a lot on the line today.
Lots on the line. I mean, it's not even just the fact of you're being crowned the champion, but there is a significant prize pool boost going from second to first. That is per player, mind you. So $500 has been guaranteed per player, but the ability to double that and get that cool grand is still on the line. So really big shout outs. $20,000 total in prize pool for this event. Super cool.
No doubt about it. And 30, of course, 3rd and 4th place, you don't go home empty-handed as well. That's where that guaranteed package comes in handy. Care package as well on the way for each of these All-Stars. We got to see the jerseys yesterday, which was pretty cool to see the designs, number one, and there's a unique one for Valorant and Rocket League as well there, Lemon.
Yeah, I mean, I have one right here just to show them one more time.
Yeah.
Like, we got this one, but in red. Here you go, bud. Here, I'll
we got
get the
this
other
one, but in red?
This one.
Show
I
the
mean,
people
what
what they
color
want.
do you like more?
I like the red one more,
Well,
personally.
I like that y'all
That
traded
sucks.
today.
Because it's mine. It sucks to suck. I got the red one.
Okay.
We started a bantering with jerseys here. They're gonna, if you're gonna rock those for the rest of the stream, you look good.
I
I'm
know,
just gonna
it's
let you know
very
right off the bat, 100%. Well, it wasn't just as simple as plug and play, and maybe you'll have a chance to win this cool stuff, right, and win the $1,000 per player if you're able to take the entire tournament. It was more than that, and in fact, it all started way back in September there, Lemon.
Yeah.
Again, nominations opened, and it was a journey, a process from there.
Yeah, we had so many applicants, and this wasn't just based on how high rank you were. You had to submit clips, you had to submit what you were doing outside of the game, your extracurriculars, your GPA. What is your personality? What makes you an all-star? And there was a lot of qualities that our coaches, our recruiters were looking for, and we chose only the best of the best. And now we got to choose those over at November 7th, so it was a tight competition.
Yeah, and of course, we saw the reactions there yesterday and Shift, once we saw them be announced as All-Star, the next step in the process, they had to find their teams too, so it kicked off with Draft Day here to Championship Sunday.
Yeah, really fun. We actually had a live stream before that, and again, like you mentioned, the reactions that happened live for some of our players is really fun to keep an eye on. But then on top of that, I think the really cool thing about this activation is not only do we have coaches that have selected their own personal teams to get their hands on, but we also had that kind of college fair day where everyone could come together, talk to all the schools that are participating. It's the same thing, vice versa. The schools could talk to all the different players. So really, really cool to see the activations go beyond just what's happening in game.
And I got to hear a sneak peek of the operations team because they were there at recruiting day, and to hear those conversations as they took place, I got a couple of stories from there, including Krryypto, who has a really good opportunity moving forward. So I wouldn't say it's an opportunity quite yet, but they are developing. That's where these conversations happen, even if you're a junior. I mean, it's never too early in the process to start looking for college.
Absolutely, asking those questions because the campus life, very important. Like, what does your school specialize in? Because every school has their niche, but also where is your program going? What are the ambitions of your school? Because there's some that are just getting their feet wet in esports, and the future can be bright. You could get in on the ground floor, or you can really vie for those top schools and see how much more investment is coming their way, and maybe what their rosters, who they're fielding for their rosters.
Bright futures ahead for all of these students, and of course, we are very excited to announce our partnership with Brightspeed Fiber Internet, as well as they've become the partner with Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Stars, the official sponsor of the Bright Futures Golden Ticket Initiative. And through this partnership, 2 exceptional All-Stars will be selected to receive a $1,000 reimbursement for a college tour within the Stay Plugged In network, along with a $1,000 scholarship from Brightspeed Fiber Internet. We're committed to supporting education and helping students achieve their goals through esports and beyond. We're proud to work with Brightspeed Fiber Internet and providing high school students with the resources that they need in order to be successful at that next level, to take the next step. So a big shout out to Brightspeed Fiber Internet for what they've been able to come on board and provide for our students to stay along that same Stay Plugged In branding. Big shout out to y'all. And a QR code above Ship's head here. You want to scan that, and that'll let you know if Brightspeed is available in your area. You can get some of that fiber internet in your hands as well. This will move us into our biggest stories of Saturday. Listen, yesterday was quite exciting. We saw some close matchups, so we got to hear your biggest stories of yesterday. Start with you, Lemon. What you got?
I mean, for any of the Rocket League fans, we were treated yesterday.
Yeah.
Super close match. Of course, every matchup we're having today, both teams have faced each other already once. So we got Gold Diggers versus Nitro Knights. The big story for me, Wahvey. Of course, he's already touted very highly in the RLCS, but last All-Stars, he made the finals but didn't get that crown. So this is his chance to reach the championship. And for Nitro Knights, they've been subbing people in and out. And for people like Jared Bear who want to get to the RLCS World Championship one day, this is the first chapter to his and just their team story. And when I watch them play, all I want to do is flip pages. So I'm really excited for this match.
There's a couple of aspects that go into that as well. I mean, when we talk about Wahvey and his ability to lead, his pro experience as well, there could be a mindset coming in, y'all, where it's like, hey, I'm a professional. These high schoolers, they're close and they're making it to that level, maybe even eventually, but they're not there yet. So sometimes you could take that approach, but we saw a clear example of that. One of the biggest reasons why it's probably your story there is because Wahvey didn't have that mindset coming in, was able to build his team around it and shift. I thought that was a great example of leadership.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations where, like, I'm trying to, like, transport myself back to, like, the high school days where, like, you're an all-star, no, branding aside.
Hey now.
But, hey now. Yeah. But I think the thing about it is, like, when you're so good and you've hit the professional level, you could go one of two ways of just, like, get out of my way, let me do this. And there were moments where it did feel like Wahvey was trying to take over by himself. But I think the most impressive moments is when he was able to find players like Krryypto alongside him, have that little 1-2 game where you can kind of say, all right, let me be a little bit more humble here. We need to win. I don't need to win. Let's find a way to get this team moving on all cylinders. And I think that's what the most impressive part about what we saw in the comeback effort when they were playing up against Nitro Knights in the first part was that there was a level of selfless gameplay until there were moments where Wahvey could punish on mistakes. So I really love to see that maturity out of a young player.
And how great was that combination of Wahvey and Krryypto? Just being able to
really good.
Alive. Because on the other side of the coin there, Shift, of course, you have to think about it from the high schoolers' perspective, trying to team up with somebody who plays at maybe a little bit of a higher pace, is used to that higher pace. That can be difficult to adjust to, not only in the Rocket League scene, but also in the Valorant scene there, Shift. So that'll lead to your biggest story of Saturday. What you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one to set up, considering that this Grand Finals rematch was a blowout when these two teams had played each other at the end of the day. But there was a level of both teams already knew they were going to come through. I just think the interesting story is going to be, we've got like the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, because we've got double duelist pressure coming through for the side of Crosshair champs. But for Alt Rush, Blocks was a really standout player, and he's also one of the highest rated Sentinel role players that we have for the Valorant side. So his ability to take over when that team needed it the most to get qualified in the first place, I think was really important. It'll be really curious, I think, just to see what were the conversations overnight in terms of what compositions do we want to play? Because I think kind of walking away from yesterday, a lot of teams are trying to be too cute with their comps, trying to just mimic what they see at VCT. It's just like, guys, there's a reason the VCT teams play these comps, because they've rehearsed it. They've gotten good reps on it. I would like to see more comfort picks come through, I think, for the side of Alt Rush, just to make sure that they're, in their comfort zone.
So I like the comfort picks, but also ones that make sense. There's been a lot of Neon play in our tournament, and I think Cypher has been very important. So I'm glad you brought up Blocks, because his Cypher was such a pivotal anchor for his team, and that'll be problematic for the opposing Neon if it goes that direction. But we have a best of 3, so there's a lot more maps, a lot more variety that we're going to see. I don't think it's going to be Neon all day, and now we could really start to explore the flexibility of our players to really show out to these colleges that I'm not just a Jet or a Neon one trick or even a Cypher one trick. I want to see variety today.
And I think the other point in getting away from our top picks, top performers, I want to see Calvary have a good day today. He's hit Radiant before and is the duelist for Alt Rush. And at one point when we were tuning in, he was like 11 and 20 on Jet. So trying to find a way to get Calvary more involved, I think is going to be key for them to try to find a way to battle back against a really strong Crosshair champs team.
When you're facing adversity, you have to kind of look it in the eye and get to the next level. And for me, I saw Martian Walk do that same thing. It's not not my top story, but it another great example of how you were the last pick of the draft and you showed up and you really made a difference. Not only, being a controller and maybe lacking on the fragging, he was out there being active and getting those kills when they needed it most. When you're lacking a little bit of that presence from the duelist, being able to take on that role, knowing that you need to, knowing and understanding that you have to, was one of the big things that I loved about Martian Walk in that moment. For me, I got to do my story now. Obviously, it wouldn't be fair if I just toss it to you. Put myself on the spot. I know it's all about the players at the end of the day here at Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Stars, but I do want to highlight the coaches here because the coaching situation coming up from yesterday and seeing what happened and developed here, starting with Rocket League. One of the coaches, PJ Farrell, unfortunately not able to make it because of success at the college level. The Smash Ultimate team of his was able to get to the LAN finals and then be able to win that championship, by the way. And they're on the road home today, so won't be able to make it, but it's in good spirits here. So big congratulations to PJ Farrell doing big things at the collegiate level. Cleveland State with a big win there, too. So I love seeing that. Number one on the Rocket League side. On the Valorant side, though, Spencer Claypool, it's a battle of difference in opinion here when we get to the championship, but we got to see a sneak peek of it there. Confidence level that goes into players instilled by Spencer Claypool, who on the draft day was flashing his championship rings.
Oh my God.
He said, look at these. I've established a presence. I've got confidence. And some of the shy players, you saw them adopt a little bit of more confidence, and there's no coincidence why we saw some of those players really get to that next level and shine.
And when someone like that has faith in you, that gives you confidence. Because I'm sure rank and, you pop off in ranked, but you go into you go into a tournament setting like this, and not a lot of players have a wealth of experience or a lot of years being in a high stakes environment like this with a coach, with people that depend on you. That's that new weight on your shoulders that you're not used to. And for someone to have that many rings and go, I want you on my team, and to have recruiters, not just him, but others looking at you, is a whole new level of stress. But I think that gives you a sense of faith and confidence that the coach picked you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And on the other side of the coin, so when we talk about this championship match, across the way is Coach Nando, who is the most opposite. So we'll get to see a dynamic of that today. Just so calm. At the draft, he says, listen, we got this. Like, I know it. My comp is very duelist heavy, and I don't have a whole lot more, but I'm going to get some flex players at the tail end of this draft, but just so cool, calm, collected, and it works the other way shift, where, if you have these hot players that are, like, really energetic. We saw an example of that with the reaction with Blocks, specifically when he got drafted. He was amped up. He was ready. He was slapping chairs for some reason. I don't know what that was all about, but he was doing that. So that calm level of presence over the comms seemed to work for Coach Nando as well, so it works both ways.
Yeah, I think there is a level, too, where it's like your Sentinel player being your highest pick and your best performer allows you a chance to kind of quarterback from behind the play a little bit more, which we often see very regularly at the high level. The players that are more controller-based are the ones that are setting up and quarterbacking. Then at the same front, in the VCT level, we often see the Sentinels being trusted to go rogue and lurk and have that good individual decision-making. That definitely came through for Block. So the hype that he showed on his reaction stream was definitely well-merited because he played really well yesterday.
And to pick up an IGL, I think was a big difference in that match. And I don't mind that now that I'm thinking more about it, you pick a lot of duelists because duelists usually have the best mechanics. Like, they're used to being very, very mobile people and have to have really good aim. And as long as you just teach them how to have solid util, usually players at this level are able to play a little bit of everything. So you maybe sacrifice the mastery of being the best Sentinel or Initiator or whatever, but if you could trade it off at just winning your gunfights, maybe that's the trade-off he's going for.
And then you saw the players adopt it. Exactly right. And that's what I was getting at here. I know it's not about the coach, it's about the players at the end of the day, but I love the way that they're able to react to it, just like y'all mentioned. So great points all around. That'll wrap up the our thoughts there as far as the biggest stories of Saturday, which brings us into Sunday. We got to talk about Rocket League right now and the championship as well. But first, let's talk about Saturday and how we got here in the first place, including the matches here, kicking off with round number 1, where we saw Gold Diggers with the 3-1 win over Panic at the demo, setting the tone. But they didn't exactly start off quick there, Lemon Kiwi. It took them a minute to warm up.
Yeah, they maybe dropped like a couple games at the start of the series because, as Shift said earlier, when you have a player as good as Wahvey, sometimes there is such a thing as doing too much. And how you sync and trust the rest of your team, because you have to eventually rotate out, grab boosts, and you've got to be able to depend on people to maybe stall out the midfield or to go for those big plays or to set you up. So I like that Wahvey eventually kind of blended in with the rest of his team.
And I think on top of that, you know, for a 4-man roster, this Gold Digger squad has a lot of depth built into it.
Yep.
I think there was a question mark when Has needed to play. What was he going to be able to provide? And there were a couple of clutch saves and clears that he was able to provide to allow Wahvey to, again, be able to commit forward, trust that his teammates behind him are going to be able to pick up the, you know, the openings that start to kind of make themselves apparent as, you know, plays are starting to be counteracted. So really exciting, I think, just to see what roster they're going to put out and when they're going to mold and morph substitutions in and out, because I like the 1-2 between Wahvey and Krrrypto, but I also think that Has played well enough to determine that he can be trusted to get into goal and clear when needed.
It's a recycled point, but it's because it's true. There's no technical roles in Rocket League, but they really filled in a role from that sense and standpoint, so I did like that point. Nitro Knights also got it done as well in round number 1 with the 3-1 victory, and then that moved us into round number 2, where Gold Diggers, I mean, they did not get any more quiet than that. They went perfect throughout in the next couple of rounds, y'all. 3-0, and actually they dropped one game, sorry, to Ball Chasers. I was looking wrong side, but still, I mean, they're pretty good to win 6 out of 7 games there.
An important thing to note is that Gold Diggers and Nitro Knights actually went to Game 5 when they
Yeah,
faced each
they
other.
did,
Just to correct that real quick,
Yeah.
because that's an important point going into this day, is that it was a good start for Nitro Knights, who took the first game. And what's important is they cycle players in and out. There wasn't a consistent roster, and that ended up being a boon for them because they had strengths, they had weaknesses, and everyone was able to come in hot. And Gold Diggers, they kept Has through all the games over Cloud. So Wahvey, Krrrypto, and Has played in that match against Nitro Knights, and then Cloud came in for other series.
Yep.
So being able to just kind of build on what you started ended up being a strength of Gold Diggers.
No doubt about it, and that led us to the standings as well. Let's see how we finished off. Like we already mentioned a couple of different times here, back to the schedule here. We'll go back. There we go. So we've got Gold Diggers up top, 3-0, perfect. But again, it took a lot to get through Nitro Knights, who finished 2-1. And again, like we mentioned, they're not going home empty-handed if you're Panic at the Demo. And Ball Chasers, still $250 in that care package coming with them. Panic at the Demo, able to get that victory over Ball Chasers, as we saw on the B stream as well. Well, we got to talk about it, but let's relive those moments now, as we have the highlights video from Saturday on the Rocket League side. Y'all have to check this out.
Find out who's got the best style.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to the coaches too on draft day, Sean, and a lot of them very confident in their team, making sure that this game does not get out of hand. That being said,
That's a ridiculous win to get his team back within striking distance. 65, trying to bounce it through. It'll get it. Little Garrett special. Like they're chasing just a little bit too much, especially when they're rotating through the midfield. They look like they just are not exactly on ball. That's a great shot.
Bear trying to key up one, and they do. Mercy ties us up. They aim to slam it down. Oh, wait! 0 seconds, and last year's MVP comes through.
This is the end, and Nitro Knights say yes. It is going to be the end of this game, of the 6 goals so far. But against the Gold Diggers, who boast a pretty nice all-star roster, I'm sitting there going, they need to be a little bit more upfront.
Chance to learn from the best, and what better way to do it than maybe with a drop down from Wahvey as your captain. Wahvey coming off hot from that first series, gets it going again. Still a lot to be impressed by for Nitro Knights, but that's 2 demos, that's an open net, and that's the first goal as Wahvey finds the opening pick.
there's Wahvey. He is able to hit it into the corner, and Bear keeps it up. Juju with a chance. No, he doesn't have the boost. Oh, he has to watch it fall.
And so now we have one last job to do for both of these teams. And again, coming in as the #1 team is Gold Diggers after their perfect run through the group stage. But Nitro Knights, they're the underdogs coming in here. And of course, we saw Danielle Sarikis come in as his coach, lead the charge. But there was a surprise in my eyes, Lemon Kiwi, and it's got to be Jujui.
I mean, 4.0 GPA. He's smart in class, but he's smart in the game too. He is a mainstay for this team. He played 4 out of the 5 games when it came to this matchup, because we talked about Nitro Knights. They've been subbing people in and out, and they want this guy in the lineup. He has played so many stay plugged in tournaments. This is the furthest he's gotten. He has a chance to reach for that crown. The only team that Nitro Knights lost to was their opponent here today in Gold Diggers, and Jujui is such an important pillar for this team.
The thing about it was Sajui actually, I think, played the best of the three that actually squared up against Gold Diggers, or four technically, because like you mentioned, Lemon, xSync was kind of subbing in and out throughout match to match, but Sajui really stood out, I thought, in terms of his ability to kind of match the tempo and pace that Wahvey likes to put on. Sajui was all really good at clearing and finding good mid-map rotations to make sure he was getting his touch when it was most appropriate for him to, you know, again, play aggressive or have to take a little bit of a passive stance. So I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table, and if there's been any kind of coordination overnight in terms of how they want to try to use Sajui to move the ball around the pitch.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Because Jujui, I've seen firsthand, as somebody who's witnessed Jujui's growth here. I've seen in the showcases here at Stay Plugged In, facing off against Jerbear and struggling in those moments. Now you have him as a teammate, apparently the mentorship working out here. Mercy also a key factor in Nitro Knights. If they're going to take on the #1 team, Gold Diggers on the right side, and everybody's talking about it, was Wahvey going to be enough? Obviously, there's plenty of talented players here, but Wahvey definitely showed up as the leader we expected him to be.
Yeah, if you watch our LCS, you know TSM, especially Wahvey, was so exciting, and I didn't even know he was in high school. Imagine the future of this kid once he graduates. What CRL team? What are the bids going to be like for this guy? But what you're watching is not only his individual play, but how he works as a team. But mechanics, the reset, the ground pinch, you can make an entire montage off this guy. So you trust him in the one-on-ones, you trust him with any kind of mechanical solo play, but how does he work with Cloud, Krrrypto, and Haz?
No doubt about it. And speaking of Haz, we actually got to sit down with Haz before All-Stars kicked off. Being the last pick in the draft, you know, it could discourage some individuals, but what we heard from Haz, well, I'll let you hear it for yourself.
Hi, my name is Cohen, or in game I'm Haz. I play Rocket League, and I am a senior out of Ohio, and I am a 2024 Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Star. As a kid, you know, you play video games all the time, hoping to be one day just like playing from a big stage. We drove 19 and a half hours from Canada to North Carolina, and I played in a LAN event there, and then that led me to applying for All-Stars last year. Fortunately, did not get it last year. When I didn't get it, it just kind of motivated me to play even more, get even better. Going as last pick definitely wasn't what I was hoping for, but I think definitely going last it's honestly kind of fueled my passion more. As I'm going to All-Star again, I got something to prove to you guys. All the people who could have taken me, and I just want to keep pushing forward and do better and prove everyone wrong. I think that's just the main thing I want to do.
You know, the Nitro Knights had a chance to pick up Haz, and they didn't, so he fell. But he's got something to prove now. He'll be able to go mano-a-mano here with them, and maybe something to prove here. I love that attitude.
And Haz is an important part of this roster. I mean, he has played in so many high school national championships and spin LAN winners. He has all the experience. Not only that, he's such a hard worker out of the game, holding 3 jobs, playing in a ton of sports, and he's this good at Rocket League. The sky's the limit for someone like Haz.
Yeah, it's tough to juggle all of that comes with it, and that's, I think, the most impressive thing about what this event does compared to maybe just normal esports for high school students. Like, we're rewarding those that do more than just what they do inside of the game. So it's exciting, I think, to see Haz stick with it, and you hear for himself, you know, didn't get picked last year, improve, find a way to make your resume that much better. And like I said, he had a great day yesterday, so I'm excited to see him on the pitch today.
100%. And of course, we talked about Wahvey and how he's become a leader, but again, we have a video to showcase exactly what we saw from Wahvey.
Hi, I'm Dylan Pettis. I go by Wahvey, and I'm a Rocket League student athlete from New York. One word that best describes my playstyle is calculative. I analyze and understand my opponent's and teammates' positioning to make the most optimal decision in every scenario. Being calculative has given me significant success so far, especially in the 1 scene. With my playstyle and experience, I work towards bringing out the best of my teammates as we achieve the common goal of victory. Advice that I'd give to high school upperclassmen about the collegiate recruitment process is to put themselves out there in a positive light. Having a social media presence is a great way to market yourself and to make your own portfolio. At the same time, make sure to keep an honorable reputation with community, and ultimately, we should be lifting each other up.
He said lifting each other up. That's exactly what we saw. Exactly. So Wahvey as that leader coming in. But is it enough to win the championship now? Let's get into our predictions for the Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Stars. I got to start from the far side of the setup, so I hold shift, putting you on the spot first, man.
So much talk about Wahvey. So much talk about Mercy. Give me Has 4-2 Gold Diggers in 6.
Nice.
I gotta agree with the Gold Diggers. I think being able to have one lineup for a matchup, you're able to build off of the mistakes and learn. And I think they look. I think it will go the distance though. I don't know about 4-2. Give me 4-3.
And listen, it was a best of 5 match. It went to 5 the last time these two matched up. And I've gotten to see personally, and I've talked about it before, I've seen Mercy in action. I've seen Jared Berry win so many showcases, and Jujui won one recently as well. Give me Nitro Knights. I want to see them win. I think Wahvey is a great leader, yes, but I don't think he has enough to rally the troops to get it done. I still think he gets to 7, but they don't get it done. Nitro Knights is who I've got. Who do you have in chat? Make sure you hit it up in chat. Let us know who you think is going to win. And we got one last group of individuals that we want to get their prediction from as well. Let's toss it down now to Spaceman and Dazarin for the very last time for the Rocket League Championship of the All-Stars. Guys.
I mean, listen, after a long, grueling day of group stage, now we find ourselves at a chance for redemption for Wahvey. Back-to-back years and a chance to lift the title. But for Nitro Knights, they went to 5 yesterday. They fall just short, and now they just stand in one best of 7 before potentially getting to that same result. This is going to be a very interesting series. Welcome in. I'm Spaceman. That's Dazzer, and you know the deal. This is a series that's going to be built on the defense, Daz. Yesterday, we saw it multiple times with Haz. We saw it with Jujui on the other side, being able to pick up in the slot and find multiple goals, especially in those games 2 and 3. This series is going to come down to defense, and I don't think we're going to get a sweep.
When you look at the last series, I think the biggest thing about it was the fact that you did have to start seeing an all-star player like Wahvey change the approach a little bit. You know, there were times where Wahvey would come out in games and just, all right, I'm going off the ceiling, first goal, all me. But then as things started to shift, Wahvey had to, you know, okay, I have to adjust here. I have to take a step back, have to bring my teammates in a little bit more, and we have to all work as a cohesive unit. Definitely was something that needed to change over the course of that if they wanted to take the series. As it did end up going the distance, it forced the adjustment. And that's one of the biggest things about Nitro Knights is they have so much room to work with, and such a factor of not sticking to one play style. You look at film, okay, you have to look at film for every player in all these different combinations. It's too much to keep track of. So I think that's Nitro Knights is, I would say, like, greatest attributing factor going into the series.
Yeah, it really does feel like at times maybe the changeup we're going to get from some of the rosters could be a deciding factor in how this series tends to go. However, when we look just between the numbers specifically, it's going to be Wahvey leading the charge offensively on the other side for Gold Diggers. That's been the case. He has been the point man for the majority of his professional career, especially as an all-star here in this program. But on the other side for Nitro Knights, you have to continue to look at Mercy. If we're just talking about the parallel matchup like we did yesterday, Mercy has to be a factor against Wahvey, even just controlling time of possession, especially off the sidewall. When they kept Wahvey contained, this team did not score a lot. But for Nitro Knights, when they allowed Mercy to get involved, especially rotating up from the second man position, he now starts to call possession on first man, picks up some of those shots from the elbow, uses some of that boost from the corner. That's where this team can really start to excel. They start to pick their spots appropriately. It's going to have to be the same result here as a best of 7 gets underway for the championship.
Big best of 7 here for Stay Plugged In. Coca-Cola All-Stars Rocket League. The championship game between Gold Diggers and Nitro Knights. I mean, you could kind of see it after we saw matches begin, but now you're starting to see how things are looking and who's going to take this one in the end. It's already a first goal to Nitro Knights, though, as they kick things off high.
That's a pretty easy setup from Jared Bear. Cloud didn't have any boost, so you'd think instead the challenge should be there at the midfield. Just isn't going to be the case. Nitro Knights will draw first blood here in Game 1. This is a team that, again, looking back to yesterday, dropped the first game against the Gold Diggers. They took the following 2, up 2-1 in the series, had a chance to close it, and then went all the way to Game 5 and lost in around the last 10 or so seconds. Gold Diggers really did a nice job of being able to claw back into that one. So Nitro Knights come into this grand finals certainly looking for the redemption arc that they had, but knowing that they can go the distance against Gold Diggers, a team that they feel like at times they might be outclassed by. That's a ridiculous save off the cross as Jujui is able to kick it back out. Post saves him, and the 4th defender steps up.
That was an amazing save. Just got it off the post. Really enjoy what I'm seeing out of Nitro Knights defensively and offensively.
Defense is going to be the deciding factor in this grand finals. And for both teams, knowing they're so close to the title is certainly going to be sitting in the back of their heads. $1,000 per player if they walk away with a first place finish. And another quick shot from Cloud stays involved in the play and pushes the pressure up in the offensive third to tie the game.
I like this, so because Gold Diggers, they keep the pressure. Look at Wahvey here, especially. He could try to like play as if he has boost for the ball, but instead goes for a bump on last man just to buy his team enough time to get the shot through. Love to play out of that from Wahvey. Gold Diggers now with the equalizing game, and you said it yourself, Sean. There's an additional layer of pressure. Oh my goodness. Okay, Wahvey just go all in here right off the kickoff. Great cheat out of him. Just perfect speed. Doesn't need the boost. He's putting that shot on every day.
He doesn't waste a lot of time either. That's kind of the difference. We see separation from younger talent in Rocket League, specifically up into the collegiate level, and then the separation into the pros. It's being able to maintain your momentum with your car, specifically just positioning-wise. You're not losing a lot on plays. That's what the best players, specifically over in MENA, tend to do, is no wasted movement. Wahvey off the kickoff, same situation, didn't need boost, had the shot ready, and took advantage as Wahvey was waiting for the extra touch. But again, the extensions upfield from Cloud and Krrrypto might be the difference maker for this offense. They were yesterday, and they continue to be here in game one. Wahvey slots it for the 3-1 lead.
That's a good shot, because he recognizes where Jujui and Jerbear are. He's not even paying attention to the fact that they had a little team bump there. He's just like, okay, I need to get here quickly, and I need to shoot this far right side of the net, and does just that. Wahvey is being a bit selfless on some of the plays, but, I mean, if you're giving him a free shot, you have to make sure that net is covered, because the shooting is on, especially on Chip.
Yeah, and it's going to keep, it's going to stay, I guess, this
what a block.
High tense as more shots continue to ring out. Krrrypto able to clear it back to the midfield. But remember, if you're watching all of today and you've been watching yesterday, there's going to be a QR code that pops up momentarily on the screen that will allow you to get a chance to sign up and win a Coca-Cola mini fridge. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled on the broadcast. We'll have a bunch of different giveaways from different sponsors here of this tournament, but specifically Coca-Cola. We want to thank them again for allowing these players to nominate themselves as All-Stars and participate in a program such as this. But with a 3-1 lead to start, I mean, again, Nitro Knights draw first blood. They get the opening goal. Gold Diggers bounce right back, as it really feels like the momentum started to shift over for Gold Diggers.
Yeah, I mean, scoreline has shifted. They kept the offensive possession so well here. And halfway through the game, it just looks like, okay, they let that first one go, but they have locked things down. Feels like there's no way Nitro Knights is out. They're going to have to start working on these transitions. Honestly, I think we need to see a little bit more physicality, especially in a situation like that. Like this, if you're sitting there and take that risk, go for that mid boost to get boosted up, or just you're out to play for a second. When you're coming back on rotation, try to incorporate a bump to play in there. You need to be able to slow down this offense. And unfortunately, they just got pulled out and hit with a counterattack. Great pass on Wahvey, and great goal for Cloud.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to get saved regardless, but nice job by Cloud just to be, again, an insurance policy there to make sure he sends it on its way. Big demo at the midfield, cut off the rotation, waiting for the last player off spawn. Luckily, with the new spawn cameras, you can kind of know where you're going to be, where the shot might come from, but still, you're going to be low on boost regardless. Krrrypto just sneaks it in. Off the kickoff again, make it 2 times in this game one. It's a 5-1 lead and a very healthy one.
Yeah. I mean, kickoff, cheat, corner pocket of the net, everything's super solid, everything going Gold Diggers' way. Nitro Knights, though, they are in a unique position. Best of 7 here, and it's just game one. Plenty of time to kind of figure things out and at least get a little bit more prepared for it. Definitely a little slow, and I feel like they haven't been playing to their strengths, so to speak. Almost like they're trying to match Gold Diggers' pace and be able to set the tempo.
Yeah, trying to at least counter the speed of Gold Diggers is not usually going to work, just by the way of both how Wahvey has kind of led this offense, but how Krrrypto and Cloud have adapted as well. Like, it's a tall task to ask a bunch of young players to play up to the strength and speed of Wahvey. However, they are doing it, and Krrrypto, being a freestyle player, is now afforded that luxury of extra space at the midfield to pop up and go for these, ridiculous resets that might continue to break down the defense. Again, you have a 4-goal lead. You're not really worried too much about being overextended upfield, but Daz, sometimes we talk about kickoff goals being demoralizing for a team, especially when it's a really close game. You have two kickoff goals for Gold Diggers in this game one. They all come with about a goal or 2-goal lead. So you have to think for Nitro Knights, they're not maybe kicking themselves too much, knowing that it's been an uphill battle and not just, small mistakes giving away the game.
Yeah, I mean, for them, it's just simple, don't troll the kickoff. That's one of the big things there. You know, they have that hard cheat going through, and last man's put in some awkward spots. So they'll definitely make a bigger focus on kickoffs going into next game. It won't be anything, I don't think, too noticeable, but you'll start paying attention to just less of some of these opportunities that Gold Diggers are getting. Because this one's definitely, I mean, we could have called this game a minute ago. 5-1 at this point. No signs of Nitro Knights coming back here. But they have been able to kind of pick things up. I think for them, it's going to be a big confidence thing. You should know, okay, we've pushed this team to the brink, and as long as we know that, we shouldn't have to feel like we need to play a certain type of way. Let's go back to what was working. As Gold Diggers now, strong start here on Championship Sunday.
Yeah, pretty blistering game one all the way around. I mean, Wahvey continuing to be the #1 overall draft pick and bringing that kind of excellence to the field. 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 saves, 5 shots. That's what you want out of a captain. That's what you want out of maybe the star player on this team. But again, it cannot be overstated enough, or understated, I should say, how important and impressive Cloud and Krrrypto have been to this team. They have been able to match the cadence of the offense almost in stride immediately since starting yesterday, and they look like they're just getting better and better the longer time goes on. And granted, as we watch some of our highlights, this is a team that took game 1 over Nitro Knights yesterday. They fall in the following 2. They're down 2-1, and then they bring it back through game 5, but they were only scoring around 2-3 goals at a time. This is a squad in Gold Diggers today on Championship Sunday that just looks like they're out for the championship. They look like they have everything clicking. And Daz, it's tough to stop a squad that has their range of opportunities when it comes to shot selection on the field. They're scoring from the elbow, pulling up from midfield, they're pulling up in the backboard. You gotta defend all of that. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, there's still that attributing factor that will always be a constant in this series, and that is when you take a look at the highlights, and he's got an entire montage there. I think the biggest thing is, too, just making sure you kind of slow him down, limit his options as quickly as possible, because you saw that impact. Everybody knew it. Everybody's been talking about it this entire Coca-Cola All-Stars event. Wahvey is that X factor, that strong factor, and he showed it there at the beginning. Now it's okay, how do we stop that? Clearly in the comms, he's definitely being very communicative towards his teammates, and his teammates are just soaking it in like a sponge, the way that they've been able to play around it. It's going to be up to Nitro Knights to force the issue here. Game 2 underway.
This is a big game, too, for this series. You're down 2-0. It's tough to be able to bring that momentum back for sure. For Gold Diggers, however, it's just business as usual as they see the championship just across the horizon. Speaking of, you can see what the championship might look like if you get yourself a pair of Oakleys. There's going to be a QR code on the screen momentarily. You can scan that for a chance to win a pair of those glasses. And if you're lucky enough, you could score shots like this as Wahvey gets proceedings going early in game 2 with another opening goal.
Look at this. Wahvey. Look at that flip.
Oh
just
goodness.
to get that light touch to the top corner. That was beautiful. Wahvey in the 1v1 is a place where you don't want to be, and he showed you there.
So if Wahvey is going to start peaking in ones like he tends to do, we saw his montage in his submission as an all-star where he had a montage against the top 100 SSL players, because of course he does. If he's going to start kind of solo chowing and going for those kind of fakes, those mental games, what do you do as a defense? Is it just simply hold boost, double commit, try to get the ball back to the midfield and play it from there? What do you think they need to do, Daz, to change this tide? Because clearly it's not going their way.
I mean, I think it just comes down to eliminating space. And now there's so much room on the field. You got to be able to take up that room. But again, that's great for Mercy. That quick cutoff. Don't let him get that time. Okay, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for the space. Give him space and like a time to think. Then he's going to pay the price. And now look, you cut that off, and now you're starting to see offense looking a lot better here from Nitro Knights, at least in the opening minute.
And worth noting that, again, Cloud will be sitting on the bench for just this game. Has rotated in. We're starting to see a couple of teams rotate in their 4th player yesterday. Same situation here. Everybody gets an opportunity to play in the championship game, and it's really working, right? Maybe it doesn't give the entire conversation around substitutes in game. Wait a minute, that stops disgusting off the backboard. I think that's Wahvey up there who gets a hand on it. Yes, Wahvey gets this perfect setup and the slot away. That's just a gross pass.
It is. I mean, he gets that cut, though. Great beat out on the play. That initial pass, pops it up. xSync's trying to get a read, and it's really tough to get that read out, especially when Wahvey is set up a pass like that. He's just trying to pull xSync out so his team can score, and now they're continuing to build again. Great kickoff from Wahvey, leaves it right to Krrrypto, who hard cheat, fakes it out, and the shot just under the crossbar. Beautiful work.
And again, this comes back to the prior conversation of, what kind of validity does this bring to having subs or extra players, or you should say, move in to a roster during a series? How do you try to build a team around that? That was one of the big talking points during our draft, was how you're going to build that fourth all-star into the team. And does that change the comp of your squad? Do you try to play hyper aggressive and have three really prime strikers with SSL mechanics, or do you try to play a little bit slower and work through your second man and third man? It seems that for Gold Diggers, they have a really nice balance of different play styles. Of course, Wahvey, Krrrypto, like we talked about, with his freestyling prowess, and then Haz and Cloud, who come in as just really great midfielders. This is a team that has everything on every single drive as Wahvey tries to find the fourth here, but you're down 2-0 in game 2 for Nitro Knights. You got to stop the bleeding somewhere, and it has to start in this game too.
It does, but it's not looking like they're going to get that opportunity anytime soon. You haven't seen too much physicality out of Nitro Knights. They've not been, we have seen a couple of bumps here and there, but no real demos, and then the passing saw there, not necessarily affecting, being cut off here quickly. Counterattack comes through, looks really dangerous, and they're able to get a little bit of room out. Much better than their game 1 performance, but you still see once Gold Diggers really starts to pile on the goals, then that's when Nitro Knights, that momentum that they have really shrinks, and they are playing way from behind here. They do need to make some adjustments here soon. Good transition shot, but Krrrypto, what a save.
Those are the kinds of opportunities that are unfortunately gimmies against a team like this. You would love to put that away and maybe won it back. It's still a good drive, though. It's been about 30 seconds of continuous pressure as Nitro Knights have held the midfield line. They've been able to grab a couple of tanks in the back line, and with that, have stalled out some of these solo efforts. However, the recovery from Haz is really, really good to begin. Put another shot on target. xSync will pick it up and try to dribble around Wahvey. At least has Krrrypto to beat, gets around one. Centers it, but nobody else is around, and the defense starting to struggle just a little bit here from Gold Diggers. You got to think, if you're Nitro Knights, you need to put this away.
Dude, Krrrypto on top of this one, looking for that transition. And Nitro Knights, even though they're getting the ball really close in front of the goal line, defense is still set. Gold Diggers have not been truly tested yet, and until they are, that scoreline is going to remain the same. Final minute, 3-0 here. As Nitro Knights just trying, they keep knocking at the door, but it's shut, nailed shut by Gold Diggers.
It has really felt like after those 3 goals, Gold Diggers have really pulled back, kept 2 men close to net at all times, and are happy to just punch the ball downfield to kill extra time. They've burned about 2 minutes off the clock, trying to just shove 1/4 in, but it's not going to happen. 40 seconds to go for Nitro Knights. They're going to be down 2-0 in this series if they can't pull something out here. Doesn't really seem like anything's really brewing right now for the offense. They have had so many different opportunities, but just the defense from Gold Diggers is just way too simple, way too clean, and it's getting the job done.
You're absolutely right. It's getting the job done. You're starting to see a little frustration out of Nitro Knights as well. Sydney, everybody, well, I wouldn't say it's frustration. They're down by 3. Something going here. It's in the house if they need to. But this one, even with Sin in the house, come up empty, and Gold Diggers stand tall. Big shutout in game 2. And Nitro Knights, ooh, that was a nice touch. Nitro Knights, though, they got to have a conversation at this point.
Yeah, look, you have an extra all-star on your roster for a reason. You can maybe start to think about, again, the comp moving into game number 3, but conversation for sure, and this is where a coach makes their money, right? Like, we've seen it all the time in the RLCS. When things start to go wrong, if a coach is able to step up and get the team back on track, shout out Farah, it's one of those instances where it changes the dynamic of a series. And then we have a very different conversation on our side as casters or the analyst desk. They're like, wow, that coach just really made a difference, and we can talk about what this team has turned around. For Nitro Knights, this is where they need to really lean in on their coaching and lean in on a different game plan, because just purely off of trying to outscore mistakes, it's not that they've been making a lot of mistakes. It's just simply they're letting 3 or 4 goals go in at a time. That's tough to win in any league, whether it's high school, collegiate, RLCS. It's really difficult to try to win a game of Rocket League, a series of Rocket League, when your opponents can score 4 or 5 goals. That's tough.
Yeah, and when you can't score at all. That's the one that really hurts.
Part too, yeah.
That part hurts the most, I think. Just being unsuccessful on offense, because I think that when you struggle on defense, okay, bad read, a little miscomm there. Like, there's always a reason you can identify it really quickly. But struggling on offense makes it really, really hard, because you're like, man, like, we can't get anything going. And I'm sure that they're thinking, okay, yeah, maybe we need to incorporate more bumps, or maybe we need to, you're starting to question a lot of things. And if you can't necessarily get that nailed down quickly, I mean, it's going to be a short series. Right off the kickoff.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that'll certainly sting for sure. Cloud, again, plays it nicely, and it's a really simple kickoff all the way around. It's just Wahvey. Right place, right time. The dude has seen thousands upon thousands upon thousands of kickoffs in his professional career, so nothing too surprising. But for Nitro Knights, definitely going to sting. Have to have a short memory going into Game 3, knowing that after this, your series, your grand finals might be on the line. They have to shake it off and just try to act like it's 0-0.
It's going to be the biggest test here. How do they make that adjustment? Got Juju, Mercy, and xSync out. Wahvey, Cloud, and Has this time. So, a couple of changes here and there. Everybody getting a chance to get on the field. But right now, Gold Diggers, I mean, those early goals just put you in such a good position, because one, you're comfortable. Like Cloud and Has are sitting in a comfortable spot. And they just keep the defense guessing. What is that play there?
Has plays it lower left corner. Cloud fake.
What a fake.
Wahvey finish.
Well, he didn't have boost.
This is a situation where, you're rotating now Cloud back in. Krrrypto gets to take a seat. This system that they have for Gold Diggers right now, a testament to the coaching, a testament to the, composition from the draft, but testament to the players. Everybody gets a chance and everybody's contributing. Got to put this one in. You got to put it in. Cloud able to get there in time, but this is a Gold Diggers roster that just looks pretty unbeatable right now, and it's tough to say that only 2 games in, but they have not slowed down, and after they get that first goal Daz off the kickoff, they're going to keep sending the house because they're being rewarded for their aggression. There is no reason for them to pull back.
Yeah, and I feel like that point also makes that rotation from them feel a lot better, because hold up, pass. Oh, I thought he was going to. But you get everybody on the field. They get those dominant wins, and then someone has to sub out. All right, cool. The vibes are great. The other player who's sitting out is just excited to get back into the game. This is just a perfect storm for Gold Diggers right now. Meanwhile, inside of Nitro Knights, they just have to deal with this ability. They've been low on boost, low on opportunities. Wahvey's almost 1v3 at this point. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is tough for Nitro Knights. They have had to spend so much boost just to clear the orange half. When that starts to happen, it's not about being starved anymore. It's just about controlling the game. When you're burning everything you pick up in the corner just to try to get the ball to midfield, your defense is not keeping up with the play, and that just means you're going to start double committing, and it means that you're just losing the 50 game, and that has been the motto for the last 2 minutes. Big save by Wahvey on low boost yet again. Stout on the goal line as Juju will try to slow it. Here's the center to Mercy. Kicked out by Wahvey, and now picked up for the boys in blue, but Wahvey will get back off respawn. Cloud has to try to cover a lot of ground here.
Bang.
Great little infield pass, and Juju finally cuts into the lead.
I love the pass, because you saw the opportunity. Okay, slide that through. No one's looking at Juju, and he nails the opportunity. Cloud knew exactly where the shot was going to, tried to get there in time, but just was a little too slow. I mean, perfect play. You need a play like that when you're Nitro Knights. That's going to do wonders for them finally getting on the board.
Just got to get something on the board. Keep this offense honest. Keep the defense a little bit more respectful at the midfield. As Juju will try to pull it from the sidewall. Holds the reset, plays it low. And now every player is starting to kind of lock in, and you can tell that it's just helping that they have good internet to help with that, because Brightspeed is one of our sponsors as well, and you can scan this QR code to check if Brightspeed Fiber internet is available near you. And if it is, you can play like Wahvey, or you can play like Daz, and they're both good. I've seen that in person. LAN champions. Well, actually, Wahvey hasn't won the LAN yet.
Got a better world's record than Wahvey.
That is insane. Minute 52. Who would have thought?
Minute 52. Like you said, demo, good 50 for Wahvey. Look, Mercy last back. He has to buy time. Wahvey knows it. And he just gets room here for Has to work. Cloud calls him off, but Cloud didn't have a lot of boost, so couldn't really take his time with that one. Instead, just kind of forced it out. Just trying to keep that pressure up. Nitro Knights still in the fight here. And a win here does raise an eyebrow. Say, okay, wait, hold on. Maybe we started, talking up from Gold Diggers too much, and Mercy with that win. And like I said, all of a sudden it's a tie game. The eyebrow is raised.
Cloud jumped late. He had to jump just a half a second earlier. Jumped a little bit too late. Had enough boost to contest. That's all he needed to do. Jumped a bit too late. A slight mistake from Gold Diggers defensively. And with all the space afforded to Wahvey on the sidewall, you're thinking that's going to be the nail in the coffin, as Nitro Knights couldn't hold off. But they push up field with a very simple drive. And it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to work. Defense finally makes a mistake. They get a break. Nitro Knights find the equalizer with 64 on the clock. Let's keep it going into the blue half. Jujuy trying to find the setup, and we'll work around one, but Cloud pokes it free. Mercy's going to be able to grab this from his own corner. And what do you do here? You can keep going back to the solo game, finally get a demo. Wavey's going to get bullied. This is an open net available, but Wahvey gets out in front of the bump and stays alive on defense.
Good on xSync, though, to trail back the way he did. Just sure, okay, don't overcommit here. Sees Wahvey on the ball, just needs to get a good touch. Buy the team some time. But these challenges, they're losing in them, and they're getting put in really tough spots. Mercy, great clearance again. Dewey has to make sure to play this, and good to keep it low, play that 50. Now you've been able to just break out all that pressure because it looked very dangerous for a second.
You're guarding against the shot, then the bump, and then the follow-up off those rebounds. It's tough. It's what the best teams do all across different high school systems, collegiate systems, professional systems. There's constant offense, even off ball, that you have to be aware of. Tie game with 8 to go. Game clock turned off. Reset from Mercy, gives it away. Picked up by Haz, trying to play through the corner. Has a center available. Going to keep it kind of careening off the back wall towards the midfield. Juju will pop it high and can take it right back through the goal line, and it will touch into golden goal between these two teams for the first time in this grand finals.
This is really interesting here from Nitro Knights. Ooh, hard cheat there off the kickoff. Juju, though, got the boost. Didn't get demo from Haz. And can turn on this. Ooh, little risky, but look at that from Mercy. Sends it back up to Juju. They are working on the fly here, playing very fast off of that initial kickoff in OT. And I kind of like it because, again, it doesn't allow Gold Diggers to have too much time to really think about how they want to make some approaches to offense, which was their biggest threat in the earlier games.
Yeah, the only question now is these rotations back to ball defensively have to be a little bit quicker. If you're Nitro Knights, there's been a couple of times at midfield where they had kind of watched that position, roll back to their half, and then tried to play through the 50 instead of just attacking the ball. You can't give that much space to Gold Diggers. They will take advantage, and if they're beating you on mechanics, they're going to beat you, especially in the air in situations like this.
Talk about winning in the air. Definitely a big point there, especially on challenges where Wavey's up too. A good one to slow things down. Look at Cloud, too far forward, things bounce back. Juju quick to jump even with no boost just to bring Wavey out to play. This is their best chance to strike here. But again, the shot's not on. Great 50, that's going straight down. And actually wanted to get there so bad he ran into his teammate.
Actually helps.
Oh, wait, that's in.
But he picks his pocket all the way downfield, and it works out. Everybody gets jumbled up on the goal line, and Mercy throws up a Hail Mary from his own side of the field.
What is that pitch off the corner? Oh, my goodness. Mercy, big pinch play. That one sails all the way downfield into the net. Nitro Knights. Still game 3. That was a big win for them. They needed it. Gold Diggers had the early start. Look at Wavey. 709. 2 for 6. The 4 saves out of him and just so much pressure. Still not enough. This series is going to continue on. We got at least 5 guaranteed games.
Nitro Knights needed a spark. That was the spark. You get a corner pinch. It works. Mercy just gets it right over both defenders. Nice little infield pass to Juju to cut within 1. Mercy throws it over Cloud.
A lot of flippers.
And it just small things started to add up, Daz, into this. I don't know how that works. Like you don't see that too often. It didn't look like a pinch on our screen. It looked like he just flipped into it and got so much power, which is not normal. So the fact that he's able to connect, it just small things began to add up just a little bit. They weathered the storm after those opening 2 goals, and then they were starting to bring it back a little bit, still losing sometimes on the 50s, still have troubles when it comes to chasing defensively. But outside of that, they took advantage of their counterattacks upfield, and the offense was finally putting away goals. That can just start to add up and feel like you know, you can start to pull up for some of these really awkward shots now that you have something going.
Yeah, definitely. And you're starting to see, we saw a little bit of that clump there towards the end too, some awkward shots coming out. And even with the awkward shots, it's just that level of pressure that we started to see from Nitro Knights that we hadn't seen before, where it did, I mean, things looked really shaky on the goal line. And it started when we saw that challenge from Wahvey in the orange third, where he was going in the corner. He lost that one. And then Nitro Knights immediately started to turn up the pressure, recognize, okay, this is what's going on. They sent a high ball, Cloud. He was too far forward, and he even had to trail back. And then I think it was Jujui just immediately attacked. Saw Wahvey, low boost situation, said, nope, I'm not giving you the time. And Nitro Knights continued to capitalize on that until they were rewarded with the goal.
You thought Game 3 was a long way to go for Nitro Knights. Game 4 feels like another mountain because you have to obviously win this to try to, again, keep this series going. You go down 3-1, that's a tall order for any team, but you're within striking distance now of Gold Diggers. You could tie it up 2-2 and keep this going. There's a lot on the line here. $1,000 per player, the championship as well. I know Wahvey was here last year, wasn't able to take home the title. Certainly that's going to be a factor for this team, but as Wahvey sits on the bench now, you have Cloud, Haz, and Krrrypto manning the roster in Game 4. They're without their best striker. If they can get this game, what a win it would be in the series and a chance to close it out in the next.
Knights doing so much better in those early portions of the game. The kickoff game has certainly improved, and you know, we had talked about it earlier, but it's something that could fly under the radar if you're not paying attention to. Now, series starting to open up a little bit more, get a little bit more interesting here. Now, Gold Diggers, they have to kind of adjust, and they also are in this situation. I was actually concerned whether or not this would happen, but Gold Diggers does come out on the field. Krrrypto, Cloud, and Haz no Wahvey playing. And this, I feel like, is going to be a bit very interesting because of it, because they're all still great in their own right, and now they're going to be able to show their stuff when it matters the most, because they win this and put the series on match point.
Yeah, I mean, you get Mercy off the field, you get Wahvey off the field, so the two big strikers for both teams not going to be captaining. That's not a word, but we'll go with it. For this game, this is going to be a brawl between both squads, and again, like a statement win, whoever's able to pull it out. Little flick, easily read. xSync is able to kick it through the corner, and again, both teams, again, vying for position and possession at the moment. But these 50s just continue to go the way of Nitro Knights. It's a small change, but a welcomed one from Game 2 and Game 3. And they missed an open net. That was completely free in the upper 90, but unfortunately, just accuracy issues for Nitro Knights. They could have had a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, they won't be able to get those opportunities. Well, they actually might be able to get the opportunity. But the way this is looking, it has been much harder for them when Gold Diggers start putting that pressure on, and you see it there. Cloud with the assist, but Krrrypto, I mean, banger of a shot. Just no fear of the defense. Just got to put that one towards net.
Yeah, the entire defense kind of committed to that. So a bit of panic right now from Nitro Knights defensively. It seems like both teams are kind of setting the house on everything, which is certainly a strat. At times it works, at times it doesn't. Defensively, however, in that spot, double commit will kill you. And it happens here again. We'll give up the opening goal. Did it back in the prior game, but they were able to recover pretty well. Can they do it here? Trying to play through the midfield. A lot of space to work with. Up in the wing, Jujui collapses. Krrrypto still holds on to possession. And this should be a free touch for Haz before eventually Jerbear was able to get up in his hands inside of Haz's face.
It's got to put on that pressure, though. Been really tough. Take a look here. xSync unable to make contact there. Cloud, no boost, but he got both Jujui and xSync off the ball and opened up that midfield boost for his teammates. So now they're in a prime position. Leaves it. Cloud, pass. Krrrypto can't turn on it. xSync kind of diving there for the challenge, and time ticks down. It's a good spot for Nitro Knights to be in, but it hasn't looked smooth. The problem is things have been very clunky. They've made a lot of desperate dives there with no boost. I mean, half the team has no boost right now, and that's not what you want to see. You want to see a little bit more structure out of it.
You know, it feels like because we've kind of removed both IGLs from both teams, you can start to see the communication maybe not as smooth as it was with Mercy and Wahvey both in on the rosters, as everybody's kind of committing at all times to every possession. But sometimes it works, and sometimes you can just kind of bully your way through to a goal. Like we saw eventually with Gold Diggers finding one. Got to be careful in those redirects on the back line. Make sure you have your third man sitting at the midfield like we just saw. Has playing it appropriately. Working through the corner, was able to get another big grab. Krrrypto finding the second. So a lot of resource here for Gold Diggers to be able to catch up on this rotation as they've done so. 30 to go. And with this much time, the Nitro Knights have to start holding on to possession if they want a chance to tie it up.
2 on the clock. xSync, can he find the double? Does find it off the ceiling, but again, no boost. This is going to be dangerous here. 15 seconds to go. Nice high ball forward, but defense is set for Gold Diggers. Need a little bit more there. Pinch towards net. They're going to let that one bounce. Play a close 50. Nitro Knights is all upfield, but they still have not gotten that strong chance. That one going center, and of course, Gold Diggers trying to get that one towards the ground as quickly as possible. And they do put the series on match point.
Yeah, this grand finals might end in the next game. Nitro Knights trying to push it to 7. Now down 3-1 in this one, but this is going to be tough for sure. And look, this was an interesting kind of rollover game. You know, in baseball they call it a bullpen game. You're kind of just rotating through your players and hoping that your starters can come back later in the series. That's kind of where we're at now as well. But you know, Rocket League's different. You have to rotate one player into slot for the extra third. But this is an interesting spot to be in because again, Wahvey and Mercy both off the play. You're letting everybody else get a chance to kind of show what they got. And at times it looked really clean, but other times, Daz, it did seem like the IGLs from both teams really had that much of an impact. A lot of very aggressive chasing defensively from both teams that in the end was only a 1-goal game.
Right. I mean, talk about just the aggression level. I think that it was definitely high, even on the side of Nitro Knights, but I think the issue was just their boost management. And for them, even if they were in the right position, they just didn't have enough boost to be able to make a play more effective than it could.
Yeah.
So it was just, okay, let's just throw ourselves at the defense and see what happens, but you do a little bit more of that. And we ended up seeing what happened. I mean, just a lot of good plays coming out, but barely, you're going to miss that mark or get close every single time if the defense is set in net and not being starved out. You have to be able to maintain that pressure, but also not limit your options, because if you can't go into the air, it kind of eliminates a lot of your approach. It makes it really easy to guard things in net. Wahvey and Mercy back on the field here in Game 5 as Gold Diggers are looking to close it out. Nitro Knights still trying to stay alive here.
It is officially championship point for Gold Diggers here in this grand finals. Wahvey a year ago unable to close out and win the title, but this time just 1 5-minute match away from doing so. And remember, if you're feeling comfortable watching this grand finals at home, it's because your gaming chair is doing the work, but you can always get a better one at DreamSeat. Make sure you scan the QR code on the screen for a chance to win an elite gaming chair from DreamSeat, one of our proud partners here of this All-Stars program. And we're very happy to have them on board. But specifically, when we take a look at this final game, what could be, I should say, the final game for Gold Diggers, is it just back to business as usual, Daz? Is there anything specific they need to change?
Ooh.
Or is it the defense that's going to bail them out of tough situations for a championship win? Oh, goodness. Never mind. Hold up.
Listen, 2 back-to-back doubles, I mean, that's a good little adjustment right there, okay? You take that. First of all, great setup. I think that was from Jerbear, and then Mercy comes through with another double to follow it up. They didn't have these options last game. Felt like they were stuck on the ground with no boost. Now they're going to the air. Now they're becoming more of a threat. Oh, and now they almost own goal.
Yeah, don't do an LG.
Yep, calm down.
Take it back out.
Don't
Wahvey.
do LG is crazy.
I can say that because I suffered. 356, a lot of time in this game 5. Best of 7 still. Single elimination. You win this, you're done. You're champions for Gold Diggers. For Nitro Knights, a 1-0 lead. One of the rare times in this grand finals they've been able to pull away early and have a lead to start the game. So far, the offense has looked very sharp, but kicked out by Krrrypto. And right back to the midfield, both teams racing for possession. It's Krrrypto trying to hold on to the 50, but Cloud will follow suit and out bunch it through the corner.
Communication's got to be pretty on point for Nitro Knights for the remainder of this game. Gold Diggers are going to look for a way back. Already starting to see a couple opportunities here and there. Great 50 Airbear. Well, been really impressed with his performance so far in game.
We'll pass to Cloud.
Cloud?
Great shot all the way from the side wall. A nice setup downfield. It's a 1-2 give and go.
So unlucky. Because I stopped talking. I saw him jump in the air, and I'm like, he's going to score this. Perfect top corner shot. Beautiful assist on the play. I mean, strong transition. You got to put a hand up there to stop that one for sure. Because, I mean, you could just tell watching the approach that he had it all day.
We talked about what the sidewall brings to this offense. And again, if you want to stop players like Cloud from passing or players like Wavy from kind of beating you one-on-twos on the goal line, you have to take away the sidewall. You have to keep them contained at the midfield. If you do that, you have a pretty good shot at taking down this team. But Nitro Knights, unfortunately, will relinquish the equalizer. And with that, more pressure here back to the midfield as Wavy kicks it free, and Mercy will give it right back. Wavy can't track back down with it, but that's okay. And into the corner. Should be possession for Jarebear, looking for the center off the backboard. Will get it. Follow-up shot from Jujui is perfect. And finally, something good going the way of Nitro Knights.
Somebody got dusted. Oh, my goodness. Jarebear just great beat. Was it Wavy? Oh, Wavy. Jujui said, no respect. Jumped up so quick to get there. Pushed it into the top corner. Nitro Knights in the lead.
They're not going to go down without a fight. Been playing so well in the last couple of games. Defensively, have looked very, very good. The offense starting to wake up just a little bit. Wavy punches it downfield. Mercy will give it right back to Jarebear through the corner, but Jujui's not going to overextend except to go for boost. Right play, right time, and back into the swing of things for this Nitro Knights offense, who have looked very comfortable past the midfield. One of the rare times they've looked so in this grand finals, Daz.
This is the most comfortable they've looked all series, I would say.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of playing their game play or playing their style, and you can tell the communication is good. They're not settling for, poor positions when they're on the ball. They've been making sure that they pick their challenges really well, and they are just getting to the ball so fast. I mean, I've been definitely noticing that. The speed of the challenges have been so much better, all due to just them. I feel like they're so much more relaxed at this point.
Bit of chaos right now in the defensive third from Nitro Knights. So for Gold Diggers, got to prioritize again boost grabs and then restructure the offense right back up the same way they did before. It's popped pretty high. Mercy should be able to handle it, is able to send it on its way back to the midfield. And again, these kind of lateral movements really favor Nitro Knights because they're starting to focus again on clamping down on boost and not wasting so much defensively catching up to the play. And it's pulling Gold Diggers back defensively. They're just throwing these long touches downfield, not able to find one another like they were early in the series. Really good adjustments from Nitro Knights all the way around, and a great setup down to Mercy, who's able to extend the lead to 2.
Look at this now with just, again, that comfortability. Look, the demos are coming out. That was almost a demo there, too. Just the speed is just leveled up. It's as if Nitro Knights have found a second wind here. And I'm all here for it. We've got less than a minute to go in regulation, and Wavy it feels like he's been shut down. He hasn't been as effective. He hasn't been able to get some of his air dribble bump setups. But not only that, he's been put in some really tough spots where either he's been clean beat to the ball, another own goal. Jarebear is 0 for 2 in own goal shots this game as well. I mean, there's just a lot going on the field, Sean.
That's good though. The being over 2-0 goals is that's a great stat. That's perfect. You want that. But also just looking at how Nitro Knights have been able to recover, again, this is a team that went 5 against Gold Diggers yesterday. Yes, they were up 2-1. Yes, they ended up dropping the last 2 games, but they have a proof of concept. They know they can go the distance and go blow for blow against Gold Diggers. It just came down to simply doing the dirty work on the field, working through the demos, working through those bumps, and setting up your teammates with simple infield passes to get the job done. And they're going to hold on to their lead here in Game 5. We're guaranteed 6-1 for the road. Who knows? Nitro Knights will close it out very, very cleanly in Game 5 and send us on our way to Game 6.
Dominant win for Knights. I think we haven't been able to really say that over the course of this. That was so solid. And in full cohesion unit, I actually start to see them get so many more demos. When you start off like this, though, that will set things up really nicely for the team's confidence. 2 doubles, 1 goes into the top corner. And even though you started to see a little bit of lapse in judgment, like I said, it's defensive mistakes a little bit more understandable. But when you get strong offensive plays like the one from Jujui, it just lights a fire under you. I feel like the fire just extended to the whole team, as that was just such a good performance, even for a 3-1 matchup, because you got to think of where they started versus where they're at.
There's nothing more dangerous in Rocket League than a team that believes. I mean, Cloud9, Team Queso, Moist, Vitality last year, even though you can believe, even though they were still like the best team. Like it just when a team starts to feel when a team starts to feel you know what? That's right. We're world champions,
Culture.
and I don't care culture. That's right. When a team starts to believe in the process and the hard work, when they believe in the results and the results start coming, it's tough to shut them down. It really is. Momentum is a real thing in Rocket League, and this is a squad in Nitro Knights that can absolutely send us the distance. They can start to steal away some of these really early moments in these games. And if you're on the other side, we talk about the coaches all the time, what their impact has to be on a series. For Wahvey as the IGL Daz, you have to think this is where his moment also comes into fruition, where he needs to be able to pull everybody back, get the comms in order, and say, this is how we're going to win this game, this is how we're going to play, and, just try to lead this team into a win.
As oh my goodness, now we're seeing a hot start for Gold Diggers. Top left, top right, you pick. Paz with the first goal here. And it's right off of this. Wahvey putting on so much pressure. xSync a little panic.
Wow.
And has great shot.
Really good control as well. That's not an easy shot at all off the rebound. Post, crossbar, out to Haz. That's a tough read, especially around 3 defenders. Makes it look so easy. Gold Diggers take the opening goal here in Game 6. Again, championship point on the line for this team. And if you're enjoying all of the action at home, remember, we have giveaways happening all day today. Specifically, you can get a chance to win a Coca-Cola mini fridge by once more scanning the QR code on the screen as our title sponsor. Coca-Cola, again, putting all of this together and allowing these All-Stars to nominate themselves for a chance to compete and show what the best of high school esports has to offer. And no other way to do it than getting some free goodies for your way home, as great defense on the backboard keeps this a 1-goal game.
So close there. Almost a chance. I mean, we saw it was a good pass from Jared Bear. xSync was just a little too far. Couldn't get there. And first he had to dive back. He's in a similar situation right now. Having to read that back wall so tough. And when you miss, you get punished. Wahvey will score the second goal, 2 here for Gold Diggers as they're looking to close this out.
The separation of reps. That's just the way sometimes it goes in Rocket League when specific players, again, who have experience at the top level like Wahvey, they're going to be on you to either read the bounce or make an adjustment. And if you don't immediately clear that ball, he's going to put it away. It's just what happens. You're playing against one of the best players in North America and against a player who has hundreds of hours against the top teams, the top players, who knows all these little bounces, all these little reads at the best level. A small mistake for Mercy on the miss, but they're trying to make up for it here, down 2-0. And a lot of time still to come back into this game. Got to be worrisome about Krrrypto upfield, starting to find some bumps. And this is where this team can really start to implement some of that physicality and really force the issue and get Nitro Knights uncomfortable.
Or way to just them kind of to make a mistake there that would work out. I mean, just see the physicality coming out here a little bit. Nitro Knights have to kind of dig deep.
Yeah.
And they might even be able to get one in transition. What, Jared Bear? You were so close.
Good shot, good placement, accuracy just a hair off. Maybe it bounces differently 30 other times you take it, but on this one instance, it's just not enough to put it away. And in championship moments, you have to be able to hit the shot. That's what separates a team that can close the deal versus ones that hit the crossbar sometimes. Still doable. A lot of demos now to clear the back line.
Right.
xSync has to poke it free, and Mercy can't quite catch up to it, but Jared Bear is in transition. Already picks up a full tank. No back touch off the backboard, but that's okay. And back into the blue half we go.
I like that touch, but it actually works out because Gold Digger's not in a good position. xSync showed me something, plays that one low, sets up Jared Bear. No, he went for the bump on Haz. Mercy lands back, and ooh, so close. Got the touch out in the right spot. Now Mercy on this one. Hits the flip reset. Couldn't get the double, but we'll get that 50 out. Now Nitro Knights sitting in this spot in the back end. You tell that they are trying to go to the air a little bit more, but it just hasn't really worked out. Mechanics aren't bringing them back in. They got them close though.
Oh man!
But it's always just that one mistake, that very niche touch has been the biggest factor in why they haven't been able to get on the board so far.
They finally got a booming clear, but Mercy and xSync had no boost, and they tried to time the midfield grab. It didn't happen. So that initial counterattack just goes completely awry. They don't have the resources to keep up with the ball, and the final time they get a clear, it doesn't work out, but this does. A long pass downfield, Jared Bear catches it in connection, and Mercy sets it up on a dime.
Yep, Mercy, great pass. They go get it, and Jared Bear The speed is so important on that play. Defense tried to hawk down on it, couldn't get it there in time. 1:38 to go. Almost anyone's game here. I will say Nitro Knights, they're sitting in a solid spot, but they still need one more.
Just got to have a cleaner approach defensively and hold on to boost if you're Nitro Knights. That's big. The biggest takeaway in Game 6. They go downfield. They don't have boost, but Bear does. Catches up to it. Waterfall down. Dangerous.
Oh!
Mercy is there to clean up the scrap. Tie up the game with 1:23.
Look at this from Bear. Saw Wavy up, still fought for it, got the win. Mercy with no boost, just tracking. Full faith in Bear. You need a team play like that if you want to fight for a Game 7. Now it's anybody's game. 1:23 to go.
Boost matters. It always does. And for offenses, it's the key to victory. For Nitro Knights, it's been their key to success in the last 45. Has trying to clear it, but kind of gives it away as Krryypto loses the 50. Wavy's going to have to come up huge here. Does just that. High sky and clear to the backboard. Mercy's going to catch, now rotate through into the midfield. Has with the pass. Krrrypto watching it fly right over, and Mercy will kick it out. But possession still here for Gold Diggers. They can absolutely score here.
And it remaining. Nice light touch out. Bear. It's a high ball. Double commit on the play for Gold Diggers. Mercy, he wanted the boost. He couldn't get it. Yeah, he has to leave off the play. That one sitting open space, but Wavy passing downfield. Krrrypto wanted to get there, but it's just so awkward coming off the corner. Seeing a couple transition plays, but Gold Diggers been sitting in a tough spot. No boost as that shot gets blocked out by Wavy.
And Gold Diggers are really low on boost, so now they have to double commit as well. Krrrypto really the only one to have a viable shot defensively of being able to rotate back into the ball. Wavy still sitting on 0. Has gets a full tank. Bear on the reset. And Has will eventually clear it away. A massive defensive clear from Gold Diggers as they try to escape the pressure. But still alive for Nitro Knights. Game 7 looming. Can they get us there? Championship point for Gold Diggers. Are we going to OT? Wavy from the backside. Has. He missed it. It almost rolls in. It wasn't enough, but on the goal line, it just stopped short. And we're tied 2-2 into OT.
Oh, but hold on. Wait a second. Wavy Krrrypto. Still no boost here. Mercy's going to get this for free. Tried to put a quick shot on. Still a chance for Nitro Knights to hold on to pressure. That one low from Has. Mercy, only 6 in the tank. Tries to play it past Wavy. It's going to be tough to beat him in a 1v1 situation. Defense and composure there for him. But that being said, they're still in a great spot for Nitro Knights. They just have to hold on because they're in a good position right now.
I mean, Wavy is on 0, Has is on 16. This team defensively is running out of boost. Wavy gets another big stop. The offense from Nitro Knights is not getting over aggressive. They don't want to overcommit on this, but you have the opportunity. You've boost starved Gold Diggers so well in the last minute. You might want to send the house here as they're still looking for their shot.
It's too late. They had a chance there, but once you saw Krrrypto with that demo and full boost, the play has started to devolve. Now they're going to try. They're still keeping it alive, though. That's actually really impressive because it felt like, okay, no boost. There's nothing that can make it happen with this situation. Gold Diggers is in a good spot defensively. But, yeah, here we are with the ball still in front of the blue box.
Another long clear from Gold Diggers, a necessary one. As Bear will be able to fight through this 50. Wavy trying to recover as xSync in front of the net. And kick back in transition. Bear going to try to pick it up around Has. Waiting. Center shot easily read by Krrrypto. Couple of weathering tries here from Nitro Knights. That's going to sky awkwardly. Can Krrrypto pick it up? Has actually gets a hand on it, but Wavy on low boost has to make this read. Mercy has to get there quicker, but unfortunately, again, for Nitro Knights, just not in the right space to make this one happen.
Oh, Wavy gets demoed. Oh, but the shot's off. There's a bump on the play, but Bear, he couldn't get there in time. So close. More bumps coming through. There's the shot. xSync got it. We're going to Game 7.
xSync is a player who talked about being an anchor. You need offense, I'll give you it. You need defense, I got you. Perfect slot, perfect response past the midfield, and a great position to send this team into Game 7 for the championship title. Down a couple, now back within striking distance. We're going all the way.
Wow. Well done. xSync's only goal that game was the biggest one for Nitro Knights so far in this series. Started off, Gold Diggers applying the pressure. Early goals. You start to think, okay, it's looking bleak. We're seeing Nitro Knights of old not really being able to do anything offensively. Then this transition. And again, it's like a match. You get one, and the goal keeps coming from Nitro Knights. It's everything they need to get ignited. And then even this here, before overtime. So close to the goal line, couldn't go in. And this is a big one. So much pressure, getting those bumps in, pulling out people from the net, and then xSync with a clutch shot. I cannot believe it. We're going to the distance.
That shot had to be perfect. I mean, you're looking at Krrrypto with about 50 in the tank. He can cover about a third of the net. That's a perfect shot. That's perfect accuracy. They hit the post about 20 seconds earlier. xSync steps up, like you said, Daz. His first goal of the game comes at the most opportune time. And now we find ourselves on the biggest stage in Rocket League, on Champions Field, to quite literally crown a champion. It's been a year in the making for Wahvey to get back to this point, but for Nitro Knights, they have battled through adversity. Yesterday, they went the distance against Gold Diggers. They fall short, and now a chance at redemption. Only one 5-minute match to decide it. This team has clawed their way back into this grand finals. They were down 3-1. They're now into Game 7. It's anybody's game.
Greatness isn't given, it's earned. Here we are on Champions Field yet again. We've seen this field many times in the RL Esports ecosystem. You know what comes with the territory. Stay plugged in. Coca-Cola All-Stars Rocket League Championship going the distance here.
Beauty of it all. Mercy plays through the 50 and already off to a hot start as both teams get a couple of chances. One demo, one shot, already registering early. If you're Nitro Knights, got keys to victory going into this. It's a best of one, of course, but the same kind of pressure they had offensively, holding their boost, getting more aggressive off the backboard, that's got to be the key here going into this one.
Starting to see that pressure initially. Bear, he couldn't even think about going for it. He knew Wahvey had that one all the way. Chance here for Mercy. Transition, oh, Cloud. Good goal line save there.
I'm sure all players are sitting up in their chairs. Speaking of, you should be at home as well with DreamSeed. Remember, you can exclamation point giveaway in the chat or scan the QR code to have a chance to win an elite gaming chair from DreamSeed. Because if you get a good chair, you're going to be sitting pretty well to compete against professionals like this. Great shot. Oh, better shot from Bear. The defense gave it away. Nitro Knights takes advantage. And into Game 7 we go as Mercy sets it up, and Bear once again comes through huge for his team.
Look at the threat from Mercy, though. That flip reset made Cloud panic. Popped the ball up, and basically a free pass to Bear. He's nailing the shot. Cloud had no boost in net. Have to be careful in those situations. Game 7 pressure definitely noticeable on the field. But can Cloud make a play that mitigates that? He can get a bump here. Doesn't need to. Wahvey will get the follow-up, and it's a tied-up game.
Wahvey had rotated out off the kickoff to get a full tank. He watches carefully, patiently xing, backflips inside net. I think was expecting the reset to come through, was trying to judge off of it, but in a 2v1 situation, again, a gimme spot for Gold Diggers. They have to score. They do just that, and we're all tied up.
Wahvey, again, flip reset chance. Trying to see if he can get that follow touch. He does! No way, he got it. Wahvey all day long. Game 7, what an impact.
You need your captain to make a play. The reset around 1, the bump onto Mercy, and the finish at the goal line. A lead for Gold Diggers. Wahvey finds his second in this grand finals, in this Game 7 specifically.
Mercy trying to be that impact right now. xSync, it's a good ball. Right towards Cloud, though. He gets demoed on the play. Start seeing the passing come out, but starting to see a little bit more of those double commits here. There's a lot of time left on the clock here in Game 7. And we are seeing mistakes plenty in the defensive end. Would not be surprised if we see equalizer here for Nitro Knights, but they've got to be careful not to make any mistakes on the defensive end their own, because Gold Diggers, we've seen them this series take a lead and run with it.
But the last thing you want to do if you're Nitro Knights is start chasing. At that point, you're giving away the game. As Bear with a big save, try to kick it back into traffic. Cloud's going to send it on its way. This is still playable here for Gold Diggers. Careful save across the rim. Wahvey out at midfield. He's going to track and try to keep this away from the hands of Mercy, but Mercy too fast on the draw and sends it right back into Haz's POV. xSync picks it up. This was the duo that really closed things out in Game 6. And Wahvey keeping it alive. Now Gold Diggers push back on defense. We'll see how they respond.
Okay, touch from Wahvey there. Long clear. Got to force xSync to use a lot of boost trying to get this to midfield. Follow-up necessary, but not happening. Haz keeps it in. This is where Nitro Knights start to feel the pressure.
Time starts to tick away in Game 7. Sometimes it feels like they go on forever. Other times it's just way too fast to keep an eye on. It's kind of mix of both. There's been instances where the game's gotten away from both teams and situations where it does feel like we're kind of going back to this tug-of-war boomer ball that we've seen a couple of times between these two, specifically yesterday. Wahvey with another huge challenge, fights through it, and keeps the play moving, extending as far as xSync is allowed. And Cloud will again try to push it off the back wall, but yet again, numbers stay up for Gold Diggers. Let's see if Wahvey can execute on this reset into the corner. Looks like they will not be the case.
Looking at this one too, the way that Gold Diggers are spaced out, I mean, you can even see it here, not sending too much. That second man just, okay, force that challenge, force that clear, third man back, we'll try to make a play out. I mean, I think Wahvey was looking for a bit of a pass. Cloud just didn't have the boost. He had to rotate out of the play. But Nitro Knights may even want to start taking advantage of this. Field positioning going to be so important. They have to watch their positioning as well, not to overcommit.
You're definitely getting in a situation now, if you're Nitro Knights, you have to start just pulling some shots. You have to start getting the defense to scramble from Gold Diggers. They're holding on to too much boost. They're getting out too quickly. This is now the third or fourth booming clear that's been left in a 1v2 situation, and Wahvey is upfield to slot it. Insurance policy granted on a pinch. Wahvey beats the defenders and finds the third goal for the hat trick.
That ball off the corner, hard to read. You can see xSync playing the back wall, thinking that it might roll down to him, gets away from him, and gets straight to Wahvey, who puts that shot on. Now Gold Diggers in a great spot, but now Nitro Knights, if you're them, you got to start sending the house. Like you said, you said it earlier, but now the exclamation point is on it.
Yeah, you got to send the house. You got to start pulling shots. You're running out of time and opportunities, and the defense of Gold Diggers is just getting out way too quickly and way too free.
With the bump, but there's no follow, and Wahvey turns it all around into a goal. Gold Diggers, even under pressure. Look at Wahvey, dodge the demo, puts the shot on the net, and pretty much submits a win for Gold Diggers here.
Well, you said it earlier, Daz, exclamation point, but this time it's Wahvey with 4 goals on 6 shots. So we talk about the impact of a draft and having the #1 overall pick, and Wahvey continues to make that the most prominent part of this championship run. A year ago, this kid had to watch the other team lift the trophy, but this time he gets a different squad, and Klaus and Has in Krrrypto. And together, they march their way all the way through Game 7 in another tough series to take home a big-time championship for the Coca-Cola All-Stars. It's Wahvey, Cloud, Has on the field, Krrrypto on the bench, and the Gold Diggers are your champions.
Congratulations to Gold Diggers. I think everyone knew going into this what they were capable of doing. A lot of people would have them as the favorites going into this event, and they wouldn't be wrong. And they came out and showed it. This was a team effort, not one individual. And you could see the cohesion, the teamwork, the leadership in Wahvey, but also the ability to adapt with as the whole roster went in and out. I enjoyed everything I saw from them, and it's a well-earned win.
This is one of those wins that I think Wahvey will, it'll help propel Wahvey more and more in his career. And for a lot of these young players who are now getting their chance to really see what, the next level is like, Daz. This is a testament to the current level of Rocket League that's being played at the high school level. We know that Rocket League continues to up the ceiling and up the floor specifically of how the game's played year in and year out. But now we're seeing more and more players compete in programs like this, and for a Coca-Cola All-Stars program to go 7, to go to Champions Field, to go the distance, and to be captained by one of the shining stars, the new players in North American Rocket League in Wahvey. It's just a really good win all the way around from Gold Diggers, but we got to give credit and love to Nitro Knights, how they've played it back-to-back games or series where they go the distance to Game 5, to Game 7, unable to close it out, but showing that this team, certainly these players have enough to be able to compete at this level, and hopefully, they can hold their heads high knowing they've put up a ridiculously good performance.
Yeah, exactly. Nitro Knights did so well to get to this point. We're talking the Game 5 with Gold Diggers, we're talking the Game 7 there is a universe that they do win this thing, and it's not too far from it. I mean, you got to give credit to them, because I think, like I initially said, you have that one team that looks like, okay, this is the team to beat, and Nitro Knights were very close to beating that team. We could have seen Wahvey potentially lose another one, but he said not today. Very well done there on the side of Gold Diggers for the win. Sean, I mean, closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts are, again, it was really good competition all the way around from Nitro Knights, and the resilience from this team is yet the takeaway. They continue to be dogfighters. They're just scrapping all the way through. They know exactly what they have to do to keep the series going. But I have to say, I mean, Wahvey was the #1 overall pick, and it seems like that pays off. Bearlight, I got to know, Wahvey finally has his championship. 4 goals in Game 7. Didn't think I'd see that from the young one. What are your thoughts?
Well, Spaceman, I got to tell you this. It was Wahvey early, and then putting the hammer on it at the tail end of things. I mean, when we talk about this, we saw a huge differential here. 8-1 in goals scored through the first couple of games. We thought Gold Diggers was going to run away with it, but that was just simply not the case.
Yeah, Wahvey just came in super hot right off the get-go, just having the most amount of goals, but mid-series we sort of saw them tail off, and that's where Nitro Knights started to come back, and we did say it was going to be a close series, and it was a team effort out of Gold Diggers to get that done.
Boost control is everything. First 2 games, it was just Gold Diggers running through Nitro Knights without question. Then things started to shift up just a touch. I mean, Game 6 in particular, I think Space talked about it a ton. It was just like, they just can't get out of their own defensive end. It's just flat out. Nitro Knights are doing a nice job changing up the macro gameplay, but Wahvey's too much to deal with at the end of it.
So your 2024 Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Star champions, Gold Diggers, congratulations to them for an incredible performance. And of course, it was extremely fitting we went to Champions Field with those 4 kids on your screen right there. An interim coach didn't matter. They still showed up, Lemon Kiwi. They put on a performance, a well-earned victory here at Coca All-Stars.
Yeah, Wahvey, who got to the grand finals last year, didn't quite get the crown. Now he's got a roster of stars. It's a galaxy on the side of Gold Diggers, and the name suits them because they were scoring like crazy. They almost had a Brazil at one point.
Yeah.
Like Shift said, they came out swinging, but what I loved about Nitro Knights is that they never gave up. I wanted to give special credit to Mercy, had the tying reset goal, Game 3, had the game winner as well, had a beautiful double tap goal in the upper 90 in Game 5. Mercy really stood out to me for Nitro Knights.
I agree with you because, I mean, Mercy needed to step up in that moment. Bear as well, creating those chances as well. Just a hot hand, a dish master, if you will, just perfectly setting up passes. A prime example of that a little bit earlier in the series where Jujui started things off and kicked things off early and was pretty consistent throughout. So every single player on this pitch, absolutely fantastic. And how fitting, of course, we get the Champions Field for this championship here for Rocket League. So again, big shout out to my boys at Nitro Knights. But at the end of the day here, Shift, it was Haz making some big defensive plays as well.
It's my GOAT. Has the GOAT right there.
You called him out.
I legitimately thought Haz was going to put in the game winner in Game 6, and I was like, no way. I just called Haz and Gold Diggers winning 4-2, but fortunately, not quite.
And I just want to give a special shout out to everyone on Gold Diggers because their journey is just beginning. Like Cloud, I think he's going into mechanical engineering first. He's just such a bright kid, just won a Scrim Center LAN. So it's cool to see every player has a bit of experience. And under that Lotus 8 Esports banner, Cloud has been a player with massive potential. We got to see a little bit of everyone, especially Krrrypto, who complimented Wahvey. One of the best. He's 16 years old, and he has esports competitive experience with 100x35, and he's also a freestyler. So this kid has the mechanics that is just going to grow and grow and grow. And we've highlighted Haz and how many appearances he's had in high school national championships and how much he's provided for this team as that midfield holder, that pillar that has been able to stall things out when Wahvey and Cloud or Wahvey and Krrrypto need to go back for boost. Haz has been so consistent, and he's provided on the front lines as that sort of lurker that can turn around and play at any moment.
Shout out to every single one of these players. It's no coincidence that they got it done late. I mean, as you're seeing, it took Game 7, and Gold Diggers were actually a little bit behind there. Nitro Knights kept it even at 1-1, but then they ran away with it with the hammer. So again, congratulations to them. Number one, a big shout out and thank you to not only these players, the champions here on the Rocket League side, but each and every individual all-star on the Rocket League side, because that's a title at the end of the day. You put in your submissions. You went through the entirety of the process, and all 40 of you were able to call yourselves an all-star. So regardless of your finishing position here, we want to say First of all, congratulations for being a 2024 Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Star. Also, a big thank you to all the coaches as well for being influential in that week leading up into All-Star Weekend. You had to have some personality, but you had to have a structured game plan too. And so all the coaches that gave us their time, their energy, a big thank you to you, also the family members of all these players and everybody involved, and of course chat for keeping it live, all the watch party hosts on the Rocket League side as well. A big thank you to you as well. That'll wrap up the Rocket League side. Again, Gold Diggers getting it done, and your 2024 Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Star champions will be resetting for Valorant, but don't go anywhere. You're watching the 2024 Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Stars.
Ah, come on. Come on. Before I switched to Brightspeed fiber internet, things like slow speeds and random dead spots really brought out the troll in me. I mean, I spent hours causing trouble. But then I switched to Brightspeed's fast, reliable fiber internet, and the rest is sunshine and unicorns. Looks amazing, Barbara.
Ultra-fast, Brightspeed fiber internet. Switch to the bright side.
Welcome back, everyone. We're getting live and loud back into this Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Star Weekend.
This is like the first step to their journey, or maybe the next step. What an amazing opportunity, because like back when I was in high school, like esports wasn't a thing. Colleges just started to get going, and now recruiters are here looking for the best talent from high school.
Challenge. That's a ridiculous win to get his team back within striking distance. 65, trying to bounce it through. It'll get it. Little Garrett special.
They aim to slam it down. Oh, wait!
Oh!
0 seconds, and last year's MVP comes through.
You know, the really cool process here is that for all of her high school upperclassmen, juniors, seniors, they were able to essentially self-nominate themselves. But then we had a full panel of judges to be able to decide, based on in-game and out-of-game qualities, who makes the ballpark of an all-star. And we ended up finishing with 40 total students across both Rocket League and Valorant, two of the biggest esports in the world.
Chance to learn from the best, and what better way to do it than maybe with a drop down from Wahvey as your captain. Wahvey coming off hot from that first series, gets it going again. Still a lot to be impressed by for Nitro Knights, but that's 2 demos, that's an open net, and that's the first goal as Wahvey finds the opening pick. To see a flurry of demos and then a Furia goal pop out just as it's fitting to see Jujui continue to strike hot while the iron is there. I mean, xSync plays it perfectly on the pass.
All the way. This is a process, y'all. I mean, it started mid-August. When nominations open, of course, you want to bolster those nominations along the way, so that way when you get to the selection committee, who were announced on September 24th, once nominations close on October 27th, they had some decisions to make. Who actually makes an all-star, right? Who's these juniors and seniors who really do show themselves in-game and out? At that point in time, we saw some awesome reactions when the all-stars were announced on November 7th, which brings us to the Coca-Cola Real Magic moments here. We got to see a little bit of the reactions. Listen, some of the students, they had a lot to say, some of them a little bit, but either way, you can tell all of them were excited.
There's Wahvey. He is able to hit it into the corner, and Jailbird keeps it up. Jujui with a chance. No, he doesn't have the boost. Oh, he has to watch it fall. Just too little too late, and that's the series.
Just really good execution, team-wise, all the way around from Gold Diggers.
The way that Nash handles things has been dynamic shift. I mean, he's been a spectacle to watch. Chalky has been not only dynamic, but as you see, all-stars inside, outside the game, like you mentioned, Lemon, and again...
There in terms of the map pick, but also just fainting picks, fainting rolls for some of these players. Down, but tag is all the way down too. Same thing with blocks. Things are still very plausible here for Spike Surge. Still have the pull here from Leone. Leone does delay the one, able to get to Leone.
You see it on your screen right now. It's the official sponsor of Coca-Cola All-Stars, the Golden Ticket Initiative. Bright Futures Golden Ticket Initiative is a partnership. 2 exceptional All-Stars will be selected to receive a $1,000 endorsement for college tour within the Stay Plugged In network, along with $1,000 extra in scholarships from Brightspeed Fiber Internet.
Miracle, are you gonna have it? Chicken the Lord is still holding on. What a snap! That's gonna be Preacher to get the kill and stop the defusal. Halfway mark, but Bombstar needs a miracle in their own. Praying to on high. Are you gonna get it? No! Preacher with the 3 secures the win for Crosshair Champs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Depends on how the best of 3 is going to go. They'll have the advantage of the ban and shift. I mean, to be able to get rid of your worst map is a big advantage.
It's going to be Comey doing Comey things, ladies and gentlemen. 1v2 in front of him. Fox inching up towards Return. Return has time to step off the Spike. Here, Mookie on top of Schweppes, but Martian Walk. Good stuff from Martian Walk. Just spraying in from main, just sweeping the site, making sure that the cracks are covered. But here comes Comey. Already has 2. 2 more to go. Comey on fire. Unbelievable. There goes Cal. Finally a bit of a shot here for Cal, but they're still gonna have to deal with blocks. Blocks has been so good on the Guardian. Still somehow able to get this kill. I'm going crazy over here. Psych. Able to pick up Chonky Bonk, but out goes blocks. Old Rush. There goes an ultimate that might have been a little too last second. Oh no, they can.